Good morning. In the morning, I walk through the neighborhood. I switched hostels yesterday. Same area, just like literally 2 blocks away. Um, I don't know, just to see if there's a better sleep environment, or I don't even know because I was getting like fantastic sleep at the last hostel. Although the last hostel had these two dogs. One of them was a girl pug, the cutest thing, like just like slept all day basically. But there was this other dog that was like the guard dog, and my first morning walk, I came back and he was like barking at me, and the security guy came over and he was like, pulling him to the side, whatever. Um, anyway, I ended up later that day coming back and like trying to like put my hand up to like have him smell me, and he teethed, is that the right word, at my hand, and he like kind of like bit it. No, there was no like puncture blood, but I was like, that was a stupid idea. I'm not gonna do that again. So, um, yeah. Anyway, I moved hostels, and I went to this like more social hostel, a little bit more expensive. Ooh, a little bit more expensive. It was, I think it was $9.50 per night, U.S. And I mean, compared to $5.50, and it was really funny because I mean, the vibes in here are like fantastic, great, tons of people. It's like packed, and definitely more party style. They got beers and pool table and chairs and lights. And I met this guy in the dorm, and he's from India, and we were just like a little small exchange back and forth. And he goes, yeah, it's kind of dead here. Like, it's kind of not that great here. Like, you're talking about like Da Nang. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to Hoi An, I think he said. He's like, yeah, I think that's where like the good like party, whatever, nightlife party lifestyle, whatever he said is. And I was like, yeah, nice. I was just thinking in my head, like, Da Nang is probably one of the best places I have come in the last 6 months of travels in Southeast Asia. Like, the food is incredible. Cafes, coffee shops to work from, unbelievable. The quality of food here, the temperature and weather is amazing. You're on the beach, walking on the beach. I went swimming the other day. The water's like really good. Just the perfect temperature. The air quality is decent. Yesterday was a little iffy, but like, and it's incredibly cheap. I'm like, dude, what more do you need? You know? It was just funny to like how two people can see the same place in two very different ways, two very different perspectives, just different value frameworks, I suppose. But I suppose, speaking of, I was listening to this podcast between George Janko and Patrick Bet-David yesterday. Really, really fascinating. Really fascinating. One of my thoughts was, there's something about Patrick Bet-David, and I had listened to him in the past, some things here and there, but I hadn't listened to him in like years, basically. But listening to him in this podcast, something about his morals and value framework, and specifically about how he raises his kids, is like, he is an incredible father. And I just couldn't help but think, like, well, one, like, how did he get all of that, basically? Like, where did that come from? Because I want that. I want my kids to have that as a father. And, well, I don't know the answer, but it was the question that I proposed. And maybe one of the answers, maybe the answer is in religion. Maybe. And one of the things that I was pondering as I was brushing my teeth last night was, because they were talking about, how the things you're not supposed to talk about with, like, family or people. It's like religion and politics and marriage and whatever else. But they were saying in the podcast how, like, they want to talk about that stuff and, like, hear from different perspectives and learn from people and open their hearts to everyone from all sides, from any background, basically. And I was thinking, I don't know, maybe this is more of an observation about my own journey, but it kind of feels like, if you're in self-improvement, that getting into religion is, like, inevitable. Because, just speaking for myself, it's like, okay, self-improvement. I want to improve. I want to become the best version of myself. What kind of characteristics do I want to have? What kind of traits do I want to have as a person? Like, how do I want to act? How do I want to behave in public? How do I want to present myself? How do I want to, what kind of parent do I want to be? That, like, those are all valid next questions. And so I was doing some, throwing my notes down, and have humility and respect and whatever else. And then I was like, well, this doesn't feel very new, Let me see. Humans have been around for thousands of years. Let's like compare notes, What have I can't be the first one to be like, oh, I would like to become a better person. Like, I'm not the first person to come up with that. So, like, who else has done this? And what have they developed? Like, how can I learn from? And it's like, oh, there are these groups of people and these books that have been around for thousands of years that act as moral frameworks and values for how people live their lives. And it's like, wait, what? Isn't this like the same thing? So, anyway, still curious about it and looking to learn, but yeah, I don't know. like I come at this from a psychological perspective because Jordan Peterson was my into religion, and he came with a psychological perspective. And so, I mean, basically everything that I just talked about for the last, 2 minutes is like, for me, seems very rational and logical, and is the more like psychological view. But anyway, I'll call it here. That's what I'm thinking about. That is what I'm thinking about. Plan today is yet another coffee shop. I don't know which one I'm going to. The other thing I was going to say was about the hostel. The sleeping environment is not as good as the last one, unfortunately. So kind of a roll of the dice, but I'm only here for a couple nights. So I got my first 99% sleep score instead of 100%. I worked a little bit late last night and also worked out pretty hard. There was a little bit of data error in my Whoop. And this hostel is like a whole bunch of shipping containers that they redid the inside. And I was on the second floor, and so like basically while I was trying to sleep, I was just hearing like from like downstairs. Anyway, I don't know why I'm here. I should have stayed at the last hostel. It's okay. Coffee shop, and then find another cafe to work at in the afternoon, and eat lunch, and go for another workout. See you tomorrow.